Hello guys, the Mega Race here, back with another video. Today I'm going to be showing you my Blackluster Soldier, Super Soldier deck. I've been toying around this deck ever since it's been kind of like first revealed. I've been a big fan of it actually. I thought it was pretty interesting, seeing as, you know, new support, a new deck, so it just kind of intrigued me into the boring format. So this is the list I was kind of like toying around with, and I know it's not in order, but it's kind of just it's just in a way so I can like explain on what every card does. So got the bog standard BLS. Everyone knows what this card does. You know, banish light and dark, can attack twice or once per turn. Banish a monster. So yeah, it's a pretty good card, pretty tacky. Then we've got one of the new cards, which is Blackluster Soldier, Sacred Soldier. I only play one due to it's already being a heavy normal summon deck, and you don't really want to play multiple boss monsters in a deck. So its effect is, when it's normal or special summoned, you can target one of your banished light or dark monsters and a card your opponent controls, and then return your card to the graveyard, and then you banish your opponent's card. So this card's pretty strong. And obviously you can only use this effect once per turn, and then when it destroys a monster by battle, you can target a level 7 or lower warrior type monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So these effects have synergy, as you add, just say you banished for Blackluster Soldier, you summon this guy by whatever means, you put one of your banished monsters into your graveyard, and then you banish a card on your opponent's board, and then if your Blackluster Soldier destroys a monster by battle, you can more than likely add the monster you sent back to your graveyard to your hand. So it's a pretty strong card. The only problem being, it doesn't have a means to summon itself. You have to manually summon it in whatever way. Next we're running the three Big Daddy himself, Blackluster Soldier, Super Soldier. So you can use it, you can ritual summon it with the ritual of the Super Soldier, and then you can only special summon one of them per turn, and then if it destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its original attack, and if it's destroyed by battle or by an opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a Gaia, the Fierce Knight monster, from your hand, deck, or graveyard. So it might seem as the card being super mediocre, but it gains effects when you use it by attributing Night of the Beginning or Night of the Evening Twilight. So what these do is you can only use each of them once per turn, and then if they're banished from the graveyard, you can add a ritual spell card from your hand, and with Night of the Evening Twilight, you can add a ritual monster from your hand when it's banished from your graveyard. Then a Blackluster Soldier monster ritual summoned using these cards gains these effects. Once per turn, you can target a monster your opponent controls, banish that monster. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, it can make a second attack in a row. So that's what the monster is getting. And then with Evening Twilight, it gains the effect of once per turn you can target a monster your opponent controls, banish it, and once per turn you can banish one random card from your opponent's hand face down until your opponent's next end phase. So if you summon a Super Soldier using these two, it gains the power of banishing two monsters your opponent controls, being able to attack twice, and being able to banish a random card from your opponent's hand face down until the end of their next turn. So it makes the monster extremely powerful, and yeah, it's basically the whole aim of the deck. And with the more support cards, I'm playing two Awakened Gaia, the Fierce Knight, and two Galloping Gaia, the Fierce Knight. And what these guys do is, if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can normally summon them without tributing. And then they all have effects of if they're tributed. So Awakened Gaia, if it's attributed, you can special summon a Blackluster Soldier monster from your hand or graveyard. So that means you can special summon Sacred Soldier with it, or the Ritual Monster guy. So yeah, and then they both have the effect of when you ritual summon a Blackluster Soldier monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard as one of the monsters required for the ritual summon. So that's pretty good. And then with Galloping Gaia, if it's normal summoned, you can normal summon without tributing, and then if it's normal summoned without tributing, its original attack becomes 1900. And then if it's tributed, you can add a Blackluster Soldier monster from deck to your hand. So that's pretty good. Galloping Gaia doesn't have the part where you can banish them from the graveyard to ritual summon. So like if you're ritual summoning, you can't like banish them from your graveyard. Then we've got more new cards to solve the Super Soldier. So you can only use each of the effects of Soul the Super Soldier once per turn. So once on the field, you can send a Blackluster Soldier monster from your hand to the graveyard. And this card's attack points become 3,000, and its name becomes Blackluster Soldier until your opponent's next end phase. And then you can banish it from your graveyard to add one Night of the Beginning or Night of the Evening Twilight from your deck to your hand. So basically, these guys, you can search them off of Rota, and you can also search them off Soul the Super Soldier. And then I'm playing two one-offs in the form of Gaia the Midnight Sun and Gaia the Polar Night. Both of these have a parallel effect to each other. Gaia the Midnight Sun is you tribute one other light monster to add a level 4 dark monster from deck to your hand, then sending a card from your hand to graveyard, whereas the Polar Knight is tributing another dark monster and adding a level 4 light warrior type monster from deck to your hand, then sending a card from your hand to grave. So basically what you're going to be doing with these is you're going to be tributing your Gaias, if you have them on board, and then you're going to be adding your Night of the Beginning or your Night of the Evening Twilight, just so there's more recursion. And then they both have the effect of banishing a light monster or dark monster from your graveyard, and then target opponent's monster, a monster you control, and it gains 500 attack until the end of your opponent's next turn. And then with Midnight Sun, one of your opponent's monsters lose 500 attack until the end of their next turn. They all have like a parallel effect to each other. One's lightened and one's dark. Then for themed cards is 2 Effect Failure and 3 Manju of the Thousand Hands. It's a normal summon to add your ritual spell or your super soldier. Also, being a level 4 means it's just like a really good number to summon your level 8 because it has to be exactly level 8. And with Awakened Gaia, since that's level 7, and Valor's level 1, you contribute both, and then you summon your super soldier. So that's kind of the synergy there with those two. And those are the monsters, 19 of them. Then for spells, running 2 Chaos Field, a new card. You can only activate one of them per turn, and once activated, you can add a Blackluster Soldier Ritual monster or one Gaia the Fierce Knight monster from your deck to your hand. And each time a monster is sent from the hand or field to the graveyard, you can place a spell counter on it for each monster that was sent. So maximum of 6, and then once per turn, you can remove 3 spell counters and add a ritual spell card from your deck to your hand. So the main effect of this is adding a Blackluster Soldier monster or a Gaia the Fierce Knight monster, being the Galloping Gaia or the Awakened Gaia. So yeah, that's pretty good. And then since it's a field spell, you can add it off the one copy of Terraforming. I didn't want to play 3 Chaos Fields because I would have rather just played 2 Chaos Field than 1 Terraforming. Just so I can thin the deck faster. Then, for non-themed cards again, 1 Foolish Burial, 2 Galaxy Cyclone for removal, 1 Raigeki, 3 Reinforcement Army to add your Gaias or your Knights, essentially. Or you can even add the Soul the Super Soldier. Then I'm running, obviously the 1 Terraforming, then the 3 Ritual of the Super Soldier, so it can be used to ritual summon any Blackluster Soldier ritual monster, meaning you can also ritual summon the vanilla Blackluster Soldier if you want to. So basically, you tribute from your hand, by tributing another monster from your hand or outside the field whose levels equal 8, and then it's basically a ritual summon using it. It's just really standard ritual spell, and then during your main phase, except the turn it was sent to the graveyard, you can banish it from the graveyard and with a light and dark monster from your graveyard to special summon 1 Blackluster ritual monster from your hand, ignoring its summoning condition. So that means you can summon a super soldier by just banishing 2 guys from your grave. I'm unsure if it also triggers Night of the Beginning and Night of the Eden Twilight, but since it's just ignoring summoning conditions, which is ritual summoning, I don't think it would proc it. But nonetheless, it's a pretty cool effect. Then for the trap cards, a really weird card. Only discovered this recently, and it's a pretty cool card. It's Exchange of Night and Day. You can only use one of the effects per turn, and only once that turn. So then, the effects are: you can send a light warrior monster from your hand to the graveyard to add a dark warrior type monster from your deck to your hand with the same level as the sent monster. But its other effect being you send a dark monster to add a light monster. So with the same level. So this card's pretty interesting because it lets you cycle through your Gaias and through your Knights and through your Gaias. So that's a pretty cool. It's a pretty cool card. I really like this card. And then another new card, Shield of the Super Soldier. When a monster or spell or trap that would target a monster on the field is activated while you control a Black Luster Soldier monster, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. So that means it negates anything that targets your Black Luster Soldier monster, or just any monster on the field while you control the Black Luster Soldier monster. And if it's in your graveyard, so that means even during the turn you activated it, you can remove a spell counter from your side of the field, and then set this card from your graveyard to your side of the field, but banish it if it leaves the field. I really only want to play this card, one of this card, because it's not really a combo piece, and it can just recur itself, so it's just basically, it's pretty good still. And then one Solemn Warning, and then another themed card, which is Transmigration of the Super Soldier. This card's text is like pretty long, but basically it's you target a Black Luster Soldier monster you control, send that monster to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon one Black Luster Soldier monster with a different name from your hand, ignoring its summoning conditions. And then during your main phase, except the turn this card is sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target a Black Luster Soldier monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. You can only activate one Transmigration of this Super Soldier once per turn. So this card's pretty interesting because, just say if you attack into a Necros of Valkyris, you'd be able to activate this card, and then send your Black Luster Soldier monster and special summon a different one from your hand, and then you just go off from there. Just getting around the Necros of Valkyris effect. This card's pretty interesting. I only really want to play one because it's not that great to actually use, and it's the only part of it I really like is the salvage type effect. You're just adding a guy from your grave to hand. So that's basically the deck. It's a pretty interesting combo deck, kind of. The extra deck is very. It's up to your own imagination. I only really put rank 4s because the only things you can do. This deck was very versatile when Lavalval Chain was legal, but now it's not as versatile, so I just threw it in there just for a quick note. Rango Miniad can be summoned in this deck, Tsukiyomi, Cowboy, whatever, it's all up to your imagination. Now, this side deck isn't actually a side deck, it's just cards you can also play to make your own build or whatever. So you can play cards like Eradicator, Crush Guard Virus, Deck Devastation Virus, Soul Charge, and MST if you so want something instead of Galaxy Cyclone. Enemy Controller because it tributes a monster, so you can trigger your Gaia effects. This card's pretty cool as well. Dark Hole if you want to add more monster board clear. Book of Moon, Black Luster Soldier if you want to play like the vanilla monster. Senju to add the ritual monster. I just rather play the Manju instead. Maxi if you want like more hand traps. Mathematician so you can send the soul of the Super Soldier. Jin the Serera rituals or the Jin Demolisher rituals. Demolisher makes it so that your monster can't be targeted, and then the Serera makes it so it's unaffected by trap effects, so that's pretty cool. And then Black Luster Soldier, Envoy of the Evening Twilight. This card's also pretty cool, but I decided not to play it because I was just not the biggest fan of the card, because it could be dead sometimes, so I want to kind of make it so the deck would be as consistent as possible. I didn't really want to play Absurd Goblin, but if you do want to play Absurd Goblin, you can also play that card. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this Black Luster Soldier Super Soldier deck profile, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. See you then.